Help me understand why it is acceptable for the 0.1% to control majority of global resources while 6 million children die of starvation every year. Help me understand why we should grow up to empower corrupt banks, corrupt corporations, and corrupt governments instead of empowering humanity. Help me understand why 1 billion people are living on less than $1 a day. What most of us do not understand is that the reason this type of extreme poverty exists on a global scale is due to the corruption of individuals in our banks, governments, and corporations. How do banks fit into the corruption? They are the credit creators. Nations access this credit, which creates the debt money that will be owed back to the bank. Attached to this debt money is compounded interest. This interest can never be repaid because the only ones allowed to create money is the banks. As a result, an exponentially growing national debt is created in every nation that borrows from these banks. How do governments fit into the corruption? They are the policymakers and the tax collectors. The corrupt politicians create policies that benefit the corrupt banks and corporations. These same politicians create taxation policies that lead to wealth redistribution from the poor to the wealthy bankers. So how do corporations fit into the banking scam? Organizations like the World Bank, the IMF, and the WTO convince countries who are resource wealthy to participate in their centralized banking scam. Government leaders who will not support the banks are forced out and new leaders are put in. These leaders are paid to participate to the detriment of their country. These countries are then destroyed through the looting of their resources, the enslavement of the people, and the denial of benefiting from the profits derived from their own country's resources. Why should this matter to us? It matters because if you and I were in a state of extreme poverty, we would want someone to save us from those imposing their corrupted will upon us. It matters because if we turn our eyes from the injustice, then we will have no excuse when injustice is thrust upon us. How can we change our present course? Each nation begins to create its own money supply to help create schools, hospitals, farms, and any other infrastructure needs. Any and all profit will go to the people and not private global corporations. In conclusion, we could begin to remedy the issue of poverty as well as other key issues such as the environment, energy, health, and education simply by stopping these corrupt individuals and groups. Albert Einstein once said, "The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. So let us change our thinking on governments, banks, and corporations so we can eradicate extreme poverty." Thank you.
Gewünschte Stunde schlagen noch, gewünschte Stunde